Hi everyone and welcome to the Crows Show, brought to you on this bye weekend by Chemist Warehouse. I'm Mark Bickley.
And I'm Alana Smith. Yes, after 12 games in a remarkably close and competitive season, the boys have certainly earned their week off.
Yes, coming up in today's show, are there any lessons for the AFL in the way American sports recruit players?
And primed for another premiership, Chelsea Randall steps up training.
It must be like minus 33 to come back into wintertime football for us is it's a bit fresh.
But first, halfway through the 2017 season is an opportune time to measure performance against expectations. And who better to ask about how the Crows are travelling than coach Don Pyke and the skipper Taylor Walker.
Yeah, we've had some really strong performances. We've had a couple of disappointing games as well, which, you know, are areas that we think are, you know, we need to get better at, and we've acknowledged that, and we've spoken about that internally. So, but overall, from a win-loss viewpoint, we're in a good position, ready to assault the second half of the season.
There's been the ones that we've lost have probably been in our total control, and the areas that we hold in high regard, we haven't been able to get on top in those areas. So, the first half of the year is probably a tick, but not a full one for me. You can't restrict an opposition all the time. They're going to score at times. It's a matter of making sure that we limit the opportunities they get to take the ball inside 50, and that's probably a key indicator is, you know, stopping sides, getting the ball inside the, our D50, you know, means we're able to turn the ball over higher up the ground. I mean, I think certainly the indication from the AFL is they're after, and the rule changes have really promoted that. The ball's in play a lot more than it was maybe 5 years ago, so there's less boundary throw-ins, there's deliberate rush behind sort of thing. They want the game being played and flowing, and we've been able to score heavily, which is great, but ultimately it's about winning.
Greenwood, he's just kicked one, maybe he's going to have three. What a dream debut for Hugh Greenwood.
I think there's been opportunity for individuals to come up to level, and we've seen a few debutants, and we've seen guys being able to develop into consistent AFL players, and I think we've shown the brand that we want to play. We just need to be able to show it consistently. Well, history says you need around 30 players to be able to reach the ultimate goal, and I think we're nearly there. So the more we play together, the more experience we create, and it creates a tighter bond.
Looking ahead at the teams the Crows will play twice this year, it's Hawthorn, Melbourne, the Cats, Port and the Bombers. OK, let's shift our attention to American sports, which are becoming increasingly popular in Australia. Their draft and free agency systems are quite different to the AFL. They rely on a lottery system to decide the #1 pick, and players are free to change clubs mid-season. So, is there any chance the AFL could go down a similar path?
Pick 15, the Adelaide Football Club has chosen Jordan Gallucci from the Eastern Rangers Football Club.
You know, on the back of, you know, they've bought the buy-in now, so teams won't tank, saying for those reasons. But what the lottery does, it prevents tanking, for a better term. So I think the lottery in itself is a good idea, and that could work well with the AFL. In its simplest form, if you take the NBA, and there's multiple rules, but in its simplest form, the worst team, so the NBA have 30 teams. So the 14 teams that are down the bottom end, the worst placed 14 teams, go from worst to least worst. I hope that makes sense. So if you're the bottom team, number 30, you'll have the most lottery picks in the draft. So there's 1,000 balls that go into the lottery, and they've got a 25% chance of getting the #1 draft pick when it's pulled out. So it doesn't guarantee them, but it increases, you know, it stops you going, well, if I tank, I'll definitely get #1. Well, you might not. So it's not worth tanking.
I think it's fair that the bottom teams get the first picks, because if this season's proof of that. It's been pretty even comp, so I think it works.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Probably a lottery out of the bottom 5 teams or something like that.
Definitely a playoff between 8th and 9th. I think it's fair at the moment.
I think it's pretty fair.
Yeah, because obviously they didn't have such a great season, so getting the first one means that they have hope for next season.
If you can effect a trade, if you've got something I need and I've got something you need, then why not? Why have a player that you're not using just really being nothing more than training bait? I mean, if you look back and you say Barlow, you know, 5-6 years ago with Fremantle, an older player picked up at the end of the season and goes, wow, there's more of them out there. There's clearly more of them out there. In the SANFL, I've seen some guys who go, these guys would be handy players right now in the AFL that are better than perhaps some of the players on their list of 42.
Can't say I'm a fan of players changing clubs mid-season. OK, when Alana returns after the break, we'll catch up with the Crows' other crossover player. And it's Andy Otten's chance to return fire.
Yep, and on the golf topic, do you cheat on the golf course?
Not anymore. Bloke's just get a bit jealous when I beat him.
Welcome back. We all enjoyed watching basketballer turned footballer Hugh Greenwood make his AFL debut a few weeks ago. Alex Keith has also switched sports, having joined the club after a professional cricket career. During the off-season, Keith and Greenwood were named co-captains of Adelaide's State League side. However, a hamstring injury delayed Keith's start to the year. Having now recovered, he can talk about his goals for the rest of the year.
Gets it away on his left. It's a bit of a wobbler up forward. 2-on-1 situation. Terrific hands came from Alex Keith.
Alex Keith turned his back on football for 6 years. After being recruited by Gold Coast back in 2009 as a 17-year-old, Alex instead chose to pursue a professional cricket career. He enjoyed immediate success as a member of Australia's World Cup winning under-19 side, but limited opportunities in succeeding years saw him return to football and sign as a Crows rookie 18 months ago.
His forwards much favours here as Keith repels.
A promising 2016 season in the SANFL was rewarded with co-captaincy this year of the league side.
The challenge now is trying to be the best leader I can for the SANFL side, and there's some really exciting young players like Elliot Himmelberg and Matty Signorello, the Paholke and Galucci as well. So that young group coming through are really exciting. Benny Jarman as well. So yeah, just being the best leader I can.
A key position player, Alex is comfortable at either end of the ground, but he does have a preference.
I really like playing forward, and David Teague and Nathan Van Berlo have been awesome in my development, and also learning from the other forwards. I think that's been great. The way that forward group in the AFL side train is, it's a privilege to be part of that.
Alex draws inspiration from the success of his SANFL co-captain Hugh Greenwood, who switched from basketball to football and earned his AFL call-up a few weeks ago.
Hughie's been awesome. Like he's certainly earned his spot. His SANFL form was phenomenal, and he really deserved that position. So his transition's been fantastic. We're different types of players, but yeah, so happy for Hughie to get that spot, because I'd seen all the work that he'd done and where he'd come from.
Interestingly, Alex made his first-class cricket debut against the England touring side in 2010. Well, as you know, we're trying to find the club's best off-road driver behind the wheel of a Toyota Hilux. Each week, we've compared the times of past and present players over a challenging Adelaide Hills course. So let's recap on who are the tortoises and who are the hares. Richard Douglas was an early starter, and you soon got the impression he was no novice.
Right, that's a bit quick. Done a bit of forward driving my time, but it was nice to come out here on a hot day and do it with the boys, and with Toyota it was fantastic. They say they're unbreakable, so I thought I'd give it a good chance and put it through its paces, and I handled very well, so I was very impressed. Premiership player Peter Caven, on the other hand, didn't seem focused. Brodie Smith thought he had to take special care.
Well, I got Eddie and Sauce, probably two of our most valuable players in the back, so I had to look after him. Didn't want anyone hitting head.
What was that?
That was me.
That's 20 grand out of salary.
Big Sauce Jacobs also admitted to having an advantage.
I've done a little bit of this before, so it's good fun to get back out of the country and test the heights out. It's like doing a 2K. Some people are better runners, some aren't, so this is my strength.
Even the instructor was a little cautious.
Felt that. It might just ease down just a little bit.
I like the bumpy parts in the first half of it. It's good just riding the accelerator and having a bit of fun there.
Another premiership hero, Matty Robran, favoured the brake over the accelerator.
Can I try and cheat and go the easiest way possible and go over as few potholes and pit holes and that? Can I just go through the bush?
Not often you can drive a car and you're looking at the sky, and then when you're coming down it, you're looking at the ground. So yeah, it's good fun. That was sensational. I've never done anything like that in my life.
So then, halfway stage, Sam Jacobs and Richard Douglas share the lead, with Matty Robran trailing the field. And we still haven't seen Tex, Rory or Eddie, and there are some surprise speedsters to come. Well, Andy Otten has copped his fair share of stick from teammates this year, particularly over his golf scoring. So the time for him to fire back is when Brodie Smith gives him a 60-second grilling, thanks to Revolution Roofing.
Welcome to this week's Victory Veranda Hot Seat. This week we have Andy Otten. Andy, where were you born?
In hospital.
Yep, Dougie's already said that. Where? What state?
Melbourne, mate. St Vinny's, Melbourne.
AFL club and favourite player growing up?
I was Hawks, and I love Shane Crawford.
Which player at the club thinks they're the funniest?
Besides you, Dougie. Dougie thinks he's pretty funny.
What's interesting, he said you. Who's actually the funniest?
This is a tough one. Who's actually the funniest? Dougie's humour's pretty good. I don't mind it.
So he thinks he's the funniest and he is the funniest?
Yeah, it's a good combo.
Righto. If you could be professional at any sport, which would it be?
Probably golf or surfing. Would be a pretty good lifestyle.
Yep, and on the golf topic, do you cheat on the golf course?
Not anymore. Blokes just get a bit jealous when I beat them.
Bright or black boots and socks up or down?
I wear black boots at the moment and socks up. I got told to wear my socks up by Alan Stewart when I was very young, so I look slow with them down, so they were straight up. And I still look slow.
You look slow, my face, yeah. The best city you've travelled to? You've done a bit of travelling?
Yeah, Rio de Janeiro, I reckon, right up there.
Who'd you go there with?
Dougie.
All right, thanks for your time, Otto.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Andy has certainly shown plenty of flexibility this year, but he may not have been prepared for that. Still ahead on The Crow Show, what do you do after giving most of your life to football? And a reality check for Chelsea Randall.
The AFLW trade period wrapped up recently with 20 of our premiership winning team re-signing. But with the second season still over 6 months away, what are the girls getting up to this winter? We tagged along with Chelsea Randall to the Salisbury Football Club, a world away from those heady days of final success.
After training and playing with the Crows through summer, Chelsea misses the heat.
It must be like minus 33 or something. To come back into wintertime football for us is it's a bit fresh.
Leaving aside the cold, Chelsea is excited by the opportunity to share her experiences of the inaugural AFLW season with those back at the grassroots level.
Last year we had 16 junior girls teams and this year we've got 66. It just shows the magnificent impact that our AFLW League has had, not only on us as players and given the opportunity, but at grassroots level and taken back to local clubs as well.
And to ensure the trickle-down benefits are evenly spread, the local Women's League instructed that Crows players assign themselves to clubs across the suburbs. That's how Chelsea, together with Jess Segenary, joined the Salisbury Magpies, where they'll play alongside Sarah Allen. But given the physicality of Chelsea's game, should her Crows mates be worried?
My trainee, also at the footy club, Anne Hatchard, she's playing for Adelaide Uni, would love to just deck her and just have a bit of a laugh and yeah, enjoy it.
Chelsea hopes to play as many games as possible in the 10-week local season before rejoining the Crow squad and defending their premiership.
I just can't wait to play the footy and get back out there again, and you know, the stepping stone to that is playing here at the local club, and I'm so excited for the girls that have re-signed with us this year, and they're an amazing bunch. They're my sisters, and you know, to take the field with them is just an incredible opportunity each round.
In 321 games, Tyson Edwards earned a reputation as one of the game's most consistent and durable players. After retirement, he turned to coaching, but 18 months ago, he branched out into a new career, as we discover in Flying the Nest, brought to you by Flight Centre.
That's what you
aspire to do as a young kid is just to get an opportunity in that first game is one you never ever forget. You know, even the smells and the whole thing that goes with it, because you're pretty emotional about the whole day. Showdowns obviously were huge. I love playing in them. But then it's milestone games for yourself and for teammates. I think I was 20 or 21 when we won our first one, and you just feel like that, okay, we'll win another 2 or 3 before I'm finished, hopefully. And it just doesn't work like that at all. We had some opportunities in prelim finals, but just couldn't quite get there. Edwards on the end of it. 2005-06 certainly was. We had a super opportunity in probably both those years, really, to not get through one of them when we had a pretty good group of players and we're playing some good footy. I really enjoyed the prelim finals, maybe because the first one that I played against the Bulldogs was such a cracking game. And we got across the line, but 2005-06 would have been nice to get, because Sydney played in both those grand finals and we had a really good record against Sydney at the time. We couldn't lose, so yeah, it was a bit disappointing.
And he does just that.
Probably one of the beauties of being able to win a premiership and lucky to have some successes. There's something locked in the schedule already, so it's an easy excuse to catch up, and you know, we all do go off in our separate ways and get busy with families and kids and work and etc. At the moment we're real estate agents, myself and Mandy, working as a team, so really enjoying that, working for Harris Real Estate, yeah, doing a little bit of corporate work on game day and getting back re-engaged in the club again, which is good, and seeing some old faces and meeting up with some people again, which is good, so yeah, it's been good fun.
Edwards has been so good. Randall gets back to Edwards, left foot curling back.
Before we take a look at a couple of highlights from social media, remember that by joining the Crows on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, you'll get exclusive insights and breaking news every day. I'm not sure how much American rapper Vanilla Ice knows about footy, but it was great to see him wearing the right colours at his Adelaide concert recently. From Vanilla Ice to Ice-T, a few of our players took the chance to grab a selfie with the American rapper when they bumped into him at Melbourne Airport. Stay with us, we're about to head back into the Crows kitchen, and we still have to find our face in the crowd.
In the past couple of weeks, we've seen club dietitian Bree Salagaris educate players about the importance of eating well. This week, thanks to Thomas Farms, let's give Bree a taste test in a blindfolded challenge.
Hi guys, we're here thanks to Thomas Farms Kitchen. You've seen me put my teammates to the test lately with a blindfold and doing a blind taste test. We've got our club dietitian Bree here, ready to go. She thinks she knows a lot about food, but we're going to put her to the test with another blind taste test of some chicken cacciatore, and we'll see how well she really knows her food. She's got a bit of chopping ahead. I reckon it should be done on that side. So adding the oregano now as well. And then it goes. Alright, final touches here. We're going to get this out of the oven, plate it up for Bree. Thankfully Bree's blindfolded because my plating skills need a bit of improvement. Guys, I've got Bree here, the dietitian. She's blindfolded. I'm going to try and set her up straight, and she's going to try and guess the ingredients here. It's a big chunk.
A big piece of chicken.
Correct. What's the dressing on top?
A pesto?
Yeah, pesto, that's right. So pesto chicken. All right, you've got the first part of it.
Is it
open
small?
Up, open up. None of the veggies are small, I'm sorry.
I think I'm going to stop you there, Charles. I think I'm going to have a guess. Is it chicken with mixed veggies?
Yeah, the chicken you got right. It's pretty close. Chicken cacciatore with a bit of pesto on top. So I'm going to unblindfold you here, or you can do it yourself. Pretty easy ingredients to guess. They looked after you today, so you've done pretty well. You do know your food, which is nice to know.
Ever wanted to stand out among all the other fans? Well, now is the time. This is when we look for a crow in the crowd, and this week we'll settle on you. If you recognise yourself, contact the club before 5 p.m. next Wednesday. Be ready with some photo ID and a merchandise pack will be yours.
That just about wraps up the Crows show for this week, thanks to Chemist Warehouse.
Now, don't forget you can catch up on all the club news and player profiles by visiting the website afc.com.au.
Remember that the Crows' next game is this coming Thursday night against the Hawks at Adelaide Oval. What a game that'll be.
Yeah, can't wait. Now, thanks for your company, and we look forward to you joining us again next Sunday at 11:30 on 7. Bye for now.
See you then.